everyone, happy Saturday. This is Tracy with the 3-Wick Thesis candle channel, and today I have for you another episode of my Ritual Bath & Body Works hauls. I went with the hubs this morning, got a little bit of a late start, but we still were able to snag some coffee and get a breakfast sandwich. Popped over to the outlet first, and I did find a few things. However, I got looking at my receipt after I got in the car, and the price on one of these items was not as promised. So I'll show it to you, but I am going to take it back because it was overpriced. So just a tiny haul from the outlet store, and then I was on the hunt for the new tomato vine candle. Outlet store didn't have it, so I stopped at one more, found it, had success. But then that also meant that I wanted to take advantage of the buy 3 get 3. So I do have a crate of candles. All the other ones are repurchases for me, so nothing too exciting, but I am going to give you some insights into the cold impression on that new tomato candle and tell you which ones were worthy of a rebuy for me. I'm going to start with the outlet haul, and I'll show you the item that I got that was on the 75% off table, and that is this lovely 3-wick sleeve from last Christmas. Now, I saw this, I camped on it last year, and then it disappeared. It didn't come back for SAS, and I absolutely would have snagged it at SAS for 75% off if it had still been around. So I saw it today. Got really excited. It was on the 75% off. They have like the smaller square displays, and it was sitting on top of there with all the other 75% off stuff. I confirmed. I asked the associate, I was like, oh wow, are these 75% off? And he's like, yeah, it would make it. And then he said like $4 or something, which would make sense because it's normally $16.95. But then I made the rookie mistake and not checking my receipt before I left, and I'm looking at it now, and they charged me $10 for it. And that's overpriced because if this is coming out at the outlet store, that probably means we'll see it at Summer SAS, and it will definitely be 75% off. So I'm not going to pay $10 for it. Unfortunately, I'm going to take this back next week. Not worth that price, and I was told it was 75% off. I can ask for a price adjustment, but I don't know. It's fine. They can just have it back. The other things I bought, because y'all, I started using my Belle Pocketback, and I love it. I put it on Wednesday after work and was just like, wow, this actually has stronger lasting power than the Fine Fragrance Mist. So if I want to smell like Belle, then I will just put this on my hands instead of spraying my body with the Fine Fragrance Mist. So I did pick up 6 of these because with the buy 3 get 3, these end up being like $1. So for some reason 5 of them were 97 cents and the last one was $1. So I picked up 4 more of the Belle, which I do not need more of these Pocketbacks, y'all, but I love this fragrance so much. Also, so excited. The hubs and I just officially booked our Disneyland trip for this summer. So these are coming with me, and I'm going to use the heck out of these while I'm in Disney because, you know, seems fitting. And I have the Belle Pocketback holder I bought when they first launched the Disney collab. Got the Cinderella Pocketback, which I do want the refill of that. I only have the holder. There was a store today that had them, but then I was like, I don't want to buy 6 more Pocketbacks to get the Cinderella. So we'll just go with Belle. And then I picked up 2 more. One was the fresh watermelon, which I like in the Pocketback fragrance. And then the hubs wanted to try the sunshine and lemons. I will never use these all. These are going to be stored away in a closet for way too long. But for $1, I just was like, I need the Belle, why not? So altogether, my savings, it wasn't that great because again, I thought that holder was going to be 75% off, but I saved $12.80 and then the subtotal was $15.85. If that had been properly priced, I would have saved $19 and I would have only paid $9 for this small haul. So, little disappointed, but it's fine. Okay. They didn't have the tomato vine. Went to the second store. They did have the tomato vine. By the way, they had the soap, the body mist. I think they had the body lotion, or maybe it was the cream and the body wash. I don't know about the fragrance. I'm on the fence. I smelled the Fine Fragrance Mist. It's not something that I personally want to smell like. And ironically, I feel like the Fine Fragrance Mist and the soap smelled more like tomato vine than the candle does. The candle, I feel like, ends up smelling kind of perfumey. So maybe I'll start with that. I love the gold matte finish on this label, and I like the font too. And then we just kind of have this like paisley design with tomatoes, with the greens, and it looks like some florals. Kind of it feels kind of hippie to me. It's fun. Gold lid. The wax is white, and these are their kind of thin, stiff, ropey wicks. Scent notes are heirloom tomato, garden geranium, and Mediterranean moss. You get tomato vine first. And this isn't like, they're calling it heirloom tomato. This does not smell like the fruit of a tomato plant. It doesn't smell juicy. I don't think of like marinara sauce. I get the greens. And if you have a tomato garden or you've ever worked with tomato plants, you literally just have to brush the leaves and you smell like it. I personally love that fragrance. It's very earthy and grounding and fresh and light. And this definitely has that element to it. The issue with this is that to me, this also smells perfumey, and I don't know if that's the geranium, because I also feel like geranium plants smell very similar to tomato vine. They have that same earthiness, but with like a tinge of, it's almost like a sharpness or a bitterness that the tomato vines don't have. But then there's also this Mediterranean moss note in it, and there's something in here that's giving me like a perfumey floral vibe. So it's mixing what feels like edible with inedible. Y'all know how I feel about that. I'm not always crazy about it. It's okay. I don't think on cold impression this is my favorite tomato fragrance. I'll actually put a picture up here of my favorite tomato candle. I can't remember the brand, otherwise I would just say it. And then I think after that it's probably the Garden Fresh from Kringle's, my next favorite. I do like Yankee's new tomato vine, but I haven't burned that one enough to know anything about the strength or throw. And I am going to fire this one up. I'll do a full review on this probably later this week, so you get insight into what this smells like on warm. But I think just based off of cold, I don't know that I'm going to be as excited about this one as I am the other tomato candles that I own. And I think I might just do like a, you know, best tomato episode 2 and kind of compare them. I think that would be fun. But I'm just realizing too, the tomatoes on this are textured. I don't know if that's going to show up on the camera. You can kind of see up here, there's like ridges in the tomatoes. So you can actually, these have texture. That's kind of fun. Also, y'all, if I'm extra dewy in today's video, my air conditioner went out. It's so frustrating. We're in a heat wave right now. It's actually in the cooling phase of the heat wave, so we're coming out of it, but it is roasting in here. And normally I would have the air going while filming, and I do not. So repair guy's coming later this afternoon. I will be in a better place very soon, but right now I'm just like, oh, it's so sweaty in here. Okay, so that's the new candle, and then I have 5 rebuys that I picked up. One of them is, I wanted to be sure I get an extra, the Sugar Cone Crunch. Now this one I did a lit review of earlier this week. I really love this fragrance. I think it's sweet without being too cloying. It does actually smell just like a sugar cone to me. Kind of like a sugar cone that's maybe softened up from some melted ice cream, or one that's just come off the iron and you kind of have that like steamy sugar cone fragrance. Yeah, I love it. Scent notes are freshly baked sugar cone, caramel sea salt, and gooey marshmallow. It is exactly as described. And when I lit this up, it was a pretty good thrower. I wanted to have a backup of this because I thoroughly enjoy this candle. And if you didn't see it last week, White Wax Core Wicks, and I love this entire collection with the matte blue lid. Really fun. Now, I don't need any more of the sweet tea and lemonade. However, I do like the new label better than last year's. Actually, I have last year's right here, because I'm getting ready to film my Southern Tea episode for my tea series. This one's got a damaged label down here. It's not cracked, it just looks like it. So this is last year's label. I love the slices of lemon on the side that are see-through, but I prefer this label here. So wanted to pick up one of these just to have the new design. Scent notes are brewed sweet tea, fresh squeezed lemons, and sugar crystals. I love this so much. The Hubs loves this fragrance. It just smells like a lemony, slightly sweetened like Lipton black tea. And I like this candle because you actually get a black tea note. And I feel like a lot of times with tea candles, you just get like a floral note, or you get whatever the elements are that are added to the tea, as opposed to just getting a straight up tea fragrance. And this does a good job of getting that black tea note in there. And the lemon is well balanced with the sweetness. I absolutely love this candle. And I think I have 2 or 3 of these already, but honestly, I can't have enough of this one. It's kind of like lemon espresso twist. It's my favorite lemon candle from Bath & Body Works. I also picked up a new one of the Spring Apple. I really enjoyed this in my March rotation, and I want to have one on hand for fall because I think this is a fall fragrance. I know it says Spring Apple, but this is something that smells more like pear to me. It does have pear in the scent notes. It's apple trees, vanilla, and sweet pear. And pears are in season late summer, early fall, so I want it for like August or September rotation. Yeah, this just smells like a pear candle with a hint of apple and just a tinge of sweetness from that vanilla that's in there. White wax, thin ropey wicks, and I love the jar on this one. Really pretty when burning. I've got that one as a backup. I also picked up another Kitchen Lemon in the new Neutrals jar. I do have a review of this one out, and of the, let's see, I've actually burned 4 of the new neutral jars now. Of the 4 I've burned, this one was the dirtiest. It did not perform nearly as well. I think that probably has to do with the wicks, because these are the thinner ropey wicks. White wax on this one. And this was the sootiest of the other ones I've burned. I've now had one with thin curly wicks that did really well. That was the Sunny Coconut. And I also have done 2 now with the core wicks. That was the Lavender Bergamot and Lakeside Morning. Yes, Lakeside Morning, which I also, by the way, is the other candle I picked up with this sale. These are burning, I mean, just perfect. Very clean. I'm going to have my review out on this one very soon, probably the end of next week, maybe early week after that. So even though this one wasn't as clean of a burn as the others, I absolutely love this fragrance. It's so fresh. Zesty lemon, sparkling citrus, and Italian bergamot. And to me, this is just a juicy, zesty lemon fragrance. The bergamot doesn't go too bright. It doesn't feel perfumey or cologne-y. It is what I would describe as a kitchen lemon. I feel like it just does a good job of kind of purging the air of fragrances that you don't want. Like if you're cooking beef or pork and you want to freshen up the air, this one works really well. And it doesn't go so far that it starts to smell like cleaner. So really pleasant. I'm glad to have that back. I've missed it, and we're doing so many lemon candles. I might end up doing a mid-month empties this month because we've gotten through quite a few of our rotation, because the Hubs has just been obsessed with coffee lemon, coffee lemon, coffee lemon, pretty much so far this entire month. So I'm like, well, we need more lemon candles, and we're going to start burning that this month. And then I already showed you this one, but this is the 6th one I picked up, Lakeside Morning. Really enjoying this one a lot. I had this one burning at my desk last night. I was finishing up a final research paper for one of the classes I'm taking, and it was just really comforting to have this going and just be like, I can get this paper done before midnight. It's going to be fine. Lakeside Morning. So the scent notes are crisp autumn air, white driftwood, and a hint of green apple. Now y'all know how I feel about apple. Y'all know how I feel about driftwood, but somehow this works. I love the way the fragrances play off of one another. It's very crisp, very fresh. It almost has like a laundry element to it with that sort of sharpness to it, but it's also kind of sweet and aquatic. Yeah, I can't believe I slept on this candle for so long, and that when I bought it, I'm actually really enjoying it, and I absolutely love the way this jar looks when it's lit. This gets so pretty when it's lit and the wax starts to pool. I love this jar so much, and I love that the lids on these are color matched, matte finish. So this one also has the core wicks, white wax, burning really clean. So spoiler alert on that one. So we had, those were buy 3 get 3. Hubs had a 10 off 30 coupon. That coupon also came with a free travel size, and I have been trying to find the Sweetheart Cherry in the travel size body mist and have not been able to locate it. They had one in the store, and I was like, you're getting that. I didn't even ask. We didn't talk about it. I just said this is what we're getting. So we tossed this into the cart. Normally $8.95, that was free with the coupon. So with the coupon, the subtotal for the 6 candles and the Fine Fragrance Mist was $70.85, and we saved $99.80 on the candles. So the candles worked out to be, what, 12? Yeah, about $12, $11.80 a piece. That's a pretty good sale price with that coupon. I'm happy to have some restocks, some ones that I really enjoy, and having those back in my rotation and collection again. And I don't have high hopes that this is actually going to have any staying power, but I've been really using the body wash and the body cream lately, and I just want this to kind of amplify the stuff I'm already using. So happy to have that as well. I didn't see any other new product in the store, y'all. None of the new All-American Gingham. They didn't have out any of the new like blue raspberry stuff. They didn't have the tomato perfume. I think most of that stuff is going to launch on Monday. I'll also add that the store I went to did not have these out at all. This whole collection was put away in drawers. And my husband and I were like, what is happening? And then I'm wondering if last weekend wasn't like a preview a couple of days and that they're going to bring these back out on Monday, because we realized the outlet store didn't have this new collection out either. So if you're not seeing this in your store this weekend and you're interested in shopping this collection, just ask them. She was really nice about it and opened up the drawer and let us shop out of it. So I thought that was weird they didn't already have those out, but we were able to snag a couple because we asked. Otherwise, we wouldn't have known that they even had them available. All right, y'all, that is my relatively small haul for this weekend. Let me know, did I snag anything that you would also grab this weekend? Tell me what you're doing with this sale. There's definitely some strategy with the buy 3, get 3. I made sure to do separate purchases so I wasn't getting those Pocketbacks for free, right? I did that as a separate transaction as the candles at a different store so that I could really take advantage of the discount. Let me know what tricks you have and where you focus your energy when there's a buy 3, get 3 sale like this. If you're not already, make sure you hit that subscribe button before you move on to your next video. And if you appreciate the Saturday Ritual haul, give me a thumbs up. I always get really excited when I see those, and it makes me happy to know that I make you happy with the content that I'm creating. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. I'll see you again tomorrow, and until then, take care. Bye-bye.